Let's face it, guys, Ondo and basically every altcoin has been in a bear market for the past couple of months, but in this video, I'm going to talk about whether or not it's time to sell all your crypto and move on with your life, or if this is actually a generational buying opportunity. I'm also going to take a look at the price of Bitcoin because in my opinion, we won't be seeing any bullish momentum return to altcoins until Bitcoin trends back up towards $100,000. And last but not least, I will be taking a look at some macro news events that are causing a lot of volatility in the space. But before I get into all of that, guys, this is Royalty Crypto, and I know that times have been very tough in the crypto space since late 2025, but do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Your guys' support is what keeps me coming back each and every day with fresh content for you guys, and I'll be continuing to do so regardless of how bad the sentiment gets. But without further ado, let's take a look at Ondo. As you guys can see, Ondo is down about 80% in the past year, and it is currently trading at 28 cents. Now, I know that this chart looks absolutely horrendous, and a lot of you probably think that altcoins will never recover back to their all-time highs. But in reality, guys, this is actually a very normal move for the altcoin space. Whenever Bitcoin is struggling and dumping like it currently is right now, you can expect altcoins to be doing the same except tenfold, and that is exactly what is happening throughout the entire space. But guys, in my opinion, whenever we see such significant discounts in the altcoin space, that is the time to be taking a risk and accumulating. Now, of course, we could continue to drop for Ondo, and nobody knows when we will hit the official bottom, but in my opinion, guys, if you are willing to hold for at least the next couple of months to even potentially years, I think that accumulating strong altcoins like this at these discounts is actually a fantastic opportunity. Now, of course, that is not financial advice, and you need to understand that investing into altcoins is very speculative and risky, and you could potentially lose all your money. But at the same time, I think that it is very realistic to think that Ondo could at some point get back to a $10 to $20 billion market cap. So if you are accumulating down here at the $1.36 billion range, you could potentially 10 to 15x your money if you do perfectly time the top. Another very positive thing about Ondo in particular is that they are continuing to build regardless of this bearish sentiment. Earlier today, Ondo actually launched a platform that allows traders to use tokenized securities as collateral rather than just stablecoins for perpetual futures trading. I believe that this is a very bullish move for Ondo because trading on leverage has become very popular in the crypto space in the past couple of years. Now, I don't personally love trading on leverage, and I don't necessarily recommend that you do so unless you are a very experienced trader, but nonetheless, I do think that it makes a lot of sense for Ondo to make a move like this, and this is undoubtedly strengthening the overall narrative behind the project. Also, guys, Ondo has recently partnered up with MetaMask and blockchain.com to offer tokenized US stocks and ETFs, including commodity-based ETFs, for their non-US customers. This move is helping solidify Ondo as basically the #1 tokenization play in all of crypto, and I believe that that narrative will be a very strong one for the next altcoin season. This is also just very cool for people that don't live in the US because Ondo is making it so much easier for these people to invest into US based companies, and I do believe that this is undoubtedly the future of finance. So yeah, guys, just because the chart looks somewhat bearish does not mean that this project is a bad project by any means. Alright guys, the next thing I wanted to take a look at is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, because I believe that this is a very useful indicator, and as you can see here, we are currently sitting back in the extreme fear levels, which is the first time we've been this low since November of last year. Guys, historically, whenever we are in extreme fear, it is the best time to be accumulating strong projects like Ondo. So as I mentioned earlier, yes, prices can continue to go lower, but I believe it is much more likely that we are closer to a bottom than a top, and as long as you don't panic sell if we do go lower, I think that now is the best time to be accumulating. But alright guys, let's go ahead and shift our attention over to the overall crypto market because there is some very interesting things taking place as we speak. So although the overall sentiment for crypto has been very bearish and a lot of people, especially retail traders, have been leaving the space in record numbers, we have actually seen a very interesting shift, and that is that Bitcoin whales are starting to accumulate at the highest levels that we've seen since early 2024. This is very interesting in my opinion because just 2 months ago we were seeing whales selling off at record levels, so the fact that they have already shifted to buying this heavily likely means means that we will see a pump for Bitcoin in the near future. I believe that one of the reasons why whales have all of a sudden got so bullish is because we have liquidated basically every long leverage position in the entire market. Whenever you see the Bitcoin liquidation map this unbalanced, it typically means that whales and market makers will try to manipulate the price of Bitcoin back up so that they can liquidate the most amount of people. And you can see here on the 3-month chart that we have an absurd amount of leverage short positions from 85,000 all the way back up to all-time highs for Bitcoin. So in my opinion, guys, and I don't know if this will be this week or next month or whenever, but I think at some point in the near future, we will start to aggressively pump back up for Bitcoin in order to liquidate these people. I think that this makes the most sense in the minds of the whales and market makers, and typically that is exactly what we see. So yeah, guys, I'll continue to monitor this on my channel, but I do believe that this is a very interesting situation that is starting to play out on this chart. All right, guys, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about is that the US government shutdown is officially over. Thank God this didn't last as long as the one that we saw late last year, and I do believe that this is a very bullish catalyst for markets. This is clearing up a lot of uncertainty that was in the overall macro economy, and typically that ends up being bullish for price action for stocks and crypto. So hopefully that is the case, and hopefully we can start to see less of these macro events taking place, because I do believe that they have been killing momentum left and right for the crypto space. But alright, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you all had a fantastic day, and I'll be back tomorrow. See you then. Peace.